My hair. Oh my goodness, you guys. But hold on, hold on. Okay. We are looking very close here. Okay. Let's put you just like that. Okay. Can't start can't start a live without my earrings on. So I may be running late, but I've got the earrings. Woo! All right, we're good to go. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I've got my crooked naked lady lumpy situation, my thug. It accurately represents me this morning, I think. Jackie said this is epic content. Thank you so much. I'm glad you could be here with me this morning. Oh, oh my God. It's fine. You need to give me a minute, and I'm going to drink this coffee and feel it do its magical things. Ah, okay. Much better already. Okay. Now I just need to clean my glasses off, and then we can really get into it. Whew. So, how's everybody doing? How is your holiday weekend if you celebrate? Um, did you have a fun time? Good morning. Hi, Christine. Let's see who we have here. Hi, April. Hi, Allison. Hi, Victoria. Ooh, hi, Amy. Hi, Kate. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Nicole and Margaret. I already saw you, Jackie. Hi, Sib. Good morning, Heather. Hi, Jen. Hi, Nancy. Oh, I see you. Hi, Janelle. Our hair is twinning. Oh, good morning. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Jen. Hi, Danny. Good morning, Rose. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Anna. Hi, Carla. All right. I think I got everybody. Oh, Janelle's back over here. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you. Hi, Janine. All right. So Friday, Saturday, great. Sunday, what a whirlwind. Jenna got her Reiki 1 training with Ricky. Congratulations. I actually got to see Ricky on Friday night. I haven't seen her in person since before COVID. So it was great. I got to see so many people. Oh, hey, Ricky. There you are. Yeah, I got to see so many people on Friday at the Trevor Hall concert that I have not seen in years. And it was so good for my heart. It was amazing. I had the best time. Whew. Like just real good. Real good. Um, yeah, really, really good. Um, but I mean, there's a lot happening now, right? Okay, so we had our full moon, which was really intense. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we didn't talk as much about the full moon because the Jupiter and Neptune um, in Pisces conjunction kind of stole the show last week, right? And then we're just like, oh, and a full moon. But I think that the full moon might have been the sleeper agent of the show and just kind of, ninja chopped us from the background because the energy was pretty intense for magic. And it's going to be like that moving forward. So what we have to learn how to do now is navigate life, understanding that the magic level is much higher than ever before. So, do you accept that challenge? I could use some more sleep, but you know, Janelle says, I think we all cried at some point last week. Some of us, many points. I cried a lot last week. I had many tantrums last week. Um, yeah. So last week was also live channeling. I still have not gone back and looked at any of the notes or dropped into that space. But from what Jen told me, there's a lot of information on on time and what's happening with time and possibly how to work with this the way that time is now in a different way, and why it's happening. So I'll obviously go back and look at that too myself, but if you missed the channeling, it's up in the app and you can watch that, um, because I know that time is pretty wild right now. We are in the on ramp into eclipse season now. So, like I said, this week is wild. Last night was a really big energetic shift. Yesterday, basically, was a really big energetic shift that's popped us into this week that it already feels like a different place. Do you feel that? Like I always say this now, I feel like I need new words, but like the energy is just different. And um it's going to be different to navigate it this week for sure. I can feel that. But our first eclipse of official eclipse season is going to be at the end of the month. It's going to be on the 30th. That's the first eclipse season, the first eclipse. It's going to be solar, and then the lunar eclipse is on the 16th of May. Okay, um, and tomorrow, no, Wednesday, Taurus season begins. So we're eking out the last bits of Aries energy right now. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening in energies. Um, yeah, that is what's happening. My life is bananas. And so I'm going to tell you some stories because here we are. So I had a really good weekend. Um, on Friday, I went to the Trevor Hall concert here in Harrisburg, and I haven't been to see Trevor Hall in ever, but he is one of my favorites. I think every person who is into yoga in this area loves Trevor Hall. But and I has probably had a very profound experience in Savasana to the song "You Can't Rush Your Healing," right? So, and that's beautiful. So I did that on Friday night, and I am not a person who goes to a lot of live music shows because I am the person who, anytime I do go to any live music, I'm usually with somebody who either doesn't like the artist or is not familiar with the music or isn't really a live music person or just generally has an attitude about something. I don't know, but I'm usually with somebody who I feel like I need to emotionally caretake, right? And that has been a huge theme, of things coming up last week that I needed to settle up for myself and do some forgiveness work around because I realized in my life that I usually have at least one big person in my life who is using me as their emotional compass, as their emotional support person, and emotional integration person. Just like I'm like the dog with a vest. And so anytime I've been to a concert, I haven't been able to just immerse myself in the music. I'm on, so to speak, and I'm doing that. So this time, I did go with a bunch of people, but I did not have that experience at all. I started to be like, I should do that. But then I was like, no, I actually don't need to do that at all. And so I let myself just be a free Sarah and flit about, met so many amazing people, like got to vibe with the music and just be exactly myself. And that is, that is an energy that I'm bringing I'm bringing to everything I'm doing now is just what is it how do I want this to feel and what do I want to experience in this moment without constantly thinking about how I can emotionally support every single person around me at all times. So that was really beautiful on Friday. And then on Saturday, I get to celebrate one of my friends, Carla, for her birthday. And that was really, really fun too. Just felt like, I don't know, just a weekend of really getting back out and connecting with people that I haven't seen in a long time. I got to see Carla and Elena, and it was just really, really great. And then yesterday, you're gonna really enjoy this one. I saved this one for last, just for you. Um, my husband and my girlfriend met for the first time, and it went really well. In fact, it went so well that I am a little weirded out by it, but I'm going to kind of integrate that into my being and take it as a win because it is. And here's the thing, and this is what has been happening to me for the past 2 weeks. Everything that I want is happening exactly as saying that it happens. And I've been telling you guys for weeks now, like a broken, annoying record, that miracles happen every day. And yet I'm over here being fucking shocked that the things that I am saying I want actually happen, right? And so I'm taking a minute to share that with you because I know that the easiest way to sabotage something very magical in your life is to constantly poke at it and ask it if it's real, right? I mean, none of us like that. None of us like when like you do something and someone's like, "Are you sure? Like, did you really want to be there? Did you is that really how you felt? Is that how you felt? Is that how you felt?" And it makes you question yourself to the point where you're like, maybe it's not how I felt. You know what I mean? So I've been very clear for me, just like on what my path is, that I'm here to explore different ways of connecting in relationships and to share those and to kind of live my life as a almost like a litmus test in that way, following the way my heart feels that I should be going, even though it doesn't look conventional, even though it's sometimes very messy, because it certainly is, and very difficult. I mean, how many times have I jumped on here in Coffee and Magic and had a meltdown for y'all? But that's my truth. That's my life, and I'm honored to be able to live this life the way that I am, and I'm very humbled by the way. I don't know. I'm just very humbled by the way the universe works, I think. And I'm humbled by the fact that I'm able to understand energy the way that I can and to actually put the things in my heart, sorry, out there and see them actually happen. And you can do the same thing. You are doing the same thing. And I think the more that we share how we're doing that and how effective it is and how fast it's happening, the faster we can get this world as a ship that's gone a bit off course, the faster we can get it turned around and in the right direction. Because all of us have this amazing ability to navigate our lives and to steer our ships and to tell the forces around us energetically what it is we want, what would make us happy. But you can't do that, of course, unless you ask yourself that first. So, as we move into this week, into this new energy that feels very much like another like new year type of energy, just remember that everything that you're speaking out loud now, all of the thoughts you have in your head, all of the things that you feel are too much, you shouldn't ask for them. They're too much. Reach for those things, because I can tell you right now, I have been told my whole life that I'm too much. I've been told that my ideas are too crazy, that I am all of the too muches. And I'm currently living all of my too muches right now. And so it can happen. And everything moves, right? Energy never stays static. So today it feels really good. Tomorrow maybe it won't. Maybe Wednesday will be the best day of my life. I don't know. And I'm real good with that because I'm actually starting to enjoy the surprises. So that is my story of the weekend. It was really good. It's really big and really good. That's what she said. And now it is time for sensory card pulls. After I tell you one last thing, tomorrow we start our 8-week workshop, Return to Ritual. And I'm so excited to start this with you. I'm very excited for that. So you can probably still get in if you are interested, if you have been on the fence with that. Go to sarahmala.com and go to the intensive. You can find information on that. And again, if you have it in your cart and you need to check out, go ahead and do that. If you have any questions, you can email me or send me a DM on Instagram. But we start tomorrow, and I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. All right. If you are new, you've never done Coffee and Magic before, welcome. We've already talked about the energy. I'm here Monday and Fridays, Monday at 8:30 and Fridays at 10 a.m. And we do card pulls from this deck right now. This is the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle. I'm going to give you 3 things. You pick which thing feels most resonant with you this morning, and then you pop that into the comments, and I will pull some cards. Okay? So that is what we're doing. This morning, we're doing musical instruments. We have a cello. We have it's a cello, piano, and a flute. Okay? Those are your 3 instruments. What instrument is calling to you this morning? A cello, piano, or flute? Drop it in the comments. I'm going to do a little bit of sage for you guys. Do a little bit of clearing. Ricky, I loved Gone Gone Beyond. I've been listening to that song Little Moon all weekend. There's some smudgies for you. And for me. Boop, boop, boop. I mean, it's the best mug ever. You can TB and drink coffee at the same time. All right, let's get to shuffling. You're choosing from cello, piano, or flute. Ooh, Rebecca's getting fancy this morning. Cello with a flute trill. I'm like really shuffle these cards good this morning. In fact, I'm putting them into separate little piles and shuffling each little pile by itself. Smudging them too. Oh, and I booked another concert already. I'm going to go see LP in DC on the 6th, and I can't wait for that. So, doing it. Thank you. All right. Cello, piano, or flute? Drop it in the comments. My goodness. All right. These should be all shuffled up. Are you ready? If you're just joining us, we're about to do the card pulls, sensory card pulls. You're choosing from one of three things. You're choosing from cello, piano, or flute. What's vibing with you this morning? Of course, you can pick more than one. Um, Pop that in the comments and we're going to get rolling. All right, here we go. Cello, piano, or flute? Pew. All right. Let's see what this is. Do some coffee. Okay, so all right, my cello people, are you ready for your story this morning? This is a big energy thing and a little bit of old energy thing happening, okay? Unfortunately, we have this guy again. Okay? Again. You can tell shit's getting stirred up when the goblin's here, over and over again, right? So don't feel bad. Feels about right. You also have the birth and rebirth card and the perception card. All right. Yeah, Freddie, he's been back. He's here to party, apparently. Um, you know, so let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Like, let's talk about it. Here's the thing. And if you need me to show you again, it's the goblin, birth and rebirth, and perception. And this is cello. Okay. So let's talk again about that little idea of your ego being a toddler having a tantrum. Okay. And you have to decide how you're going to handle that tantrum. Are you going to ignore it? You're going to ignore the tantrum, ignore the toddler? Are you going to take the toddler and put him in another room and forget about him? Are you going to yell at him and tell him that he's not part of this family anymore because of his terrible behavior? How are you going to treat this this statement of will and existence? Now, I'm not really a kid person, but I do have two of my own. So I had two toddler phases and currently two little boy phases. And here's what I have learned about child psychology through being a mom. You ready for this? But here it is. Children don't throw tantrums to be a dick to you. They throw tantrums because they don't feel that they have any power. They don't feel that they have any agency. And they're overwhelmed by the bigness of the world around them, by everything. There's so much happening all the time. And they're little and they feel everything because they haven't developed thick skins and the ability to repress emotions yet, right? So when a toddler has a tantrum, it's because they're having big feelings that they haven't figured out how to express constructively yet. And when we as adults experience their big feelings, we're often immediately inconvenienced in trying to figure out how to make the noise stop, how to make the behavior stop. But instead of looking at our little toddler egos like that, how to make this stop, why don't we ask ourselves, what is it that this energy is trying to tell me, but doesn't have the ability to do so clearly or constructively? How do we de escalate this a little bit and see what the actual issue is as opposed to attacking the symptoms, right? So, looking at our ego from that perspective, you don't need to cut off your ego from yourself. You need to bring that little baby back in and make sure that number one, the baby feels the toddler, right? Feels safe to have their experience and loved no matter what. That they know that even though they're having this massive outpouring of emotion, you're going to stand there and hold that space for them and love them through it and after it, right? And then when we've calmed down, we can have a talk and say, yeah, that behavior, it's not, that's not what we're going to do. Here are some, here's some other options for you, right? So if you're having a time of much trigger for ego, and if you're on TikTok and having issues with connection, you can pop over to Instagram. Um, if you're having that, my cello people, just remember your ego is not something you need to cut off from yourself. It's something that needs to be integrated back in. It's healthy to have your ego. It's healthy to allow yourself to feel like you're amazing and proud of yourself and sing your own praises. You need to be able to do that. And other people need to be able to allow you to do that as well. So it might be triggering on all ends right now, but throwing a little love and compassion into the mix and trying to understand what is actually triggering you right now is going to help you a lot, as opposed to getting into attack mode and trying to be like, no, I have done so much work on myself, there's no way that my ego is flaring right now. Whatever, right? Okay. Then you also have perception and rebirth. Rebirth is the beginning of a new cycle with similar energy. This is not the death card. It's a rebirth of something that has ended but is coming back through in its newest iteration. You, for example, a relationship, um, reinvigorating something. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, and the perception card is here to remind you that even though it is the most cliched thing in the world to say, perception does indeed create your reality. That's why 100 people can experience the same exact thing and have 100 different experiences. It's actually what makes us so amazing. And it's what makes us so capable of being so horrible, is that we all experience life differently through our perceptions, and nobody else's perception is the same. Some can be similar and simpatico, but not one is exactly the same because we are very different, all of us. Remembering that and remembering that other people's perceptions don't have to validate yours in order to make yours real will help you de escalate a little bit for yourself as well. So, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with some situation right now, that's because everything is changing and it's changing fast and it's triggering you, but it's also exactly what you asked for. Yay! All right. Next up, piano. Mm, my God, it's so good. I don't know. I don't think it's just one of my biggest pleasures to have my coffee in the morning. It tastes so good. It's so hot. Yes. Oh my God. Go get some more. I can only have the one cup. I'm actually cutting the coffee with Rasa now, and that is possibly taking the caffeine down just a touch, which I guess is fine because it doesn't seem to be a problem. Mm, but my God. Okay. All right. So the next one is piano, right? I've been getting like all just into my coffee pleasure this morning. Okay, so all right, piano. If you chose piano, here's your story. Oof, you get a lot of lot of big energy in this one too. I mean, we're not shocked. You've got the movement card. You've got the protection card. You've got the burden card. Like, ooh, look at all these things. So here's your story. Just like our cello friends, everything's changing. Okay. But for you, for my piano people, um, there is possibly like in addition to like things changing in the way that like you connect with the world generally and like the way things are within you, um, the vibe of the piano card is also that things have changed for you in like structurally. Okay. For some of you, it actually feels like a body change, like the way your body is, like either there's been an operation or an injury that's like decreased mobility, or I don't know. It feels like the body is different for some of you. But then aside from that, whatever that is coming through, it's like, did you change jobs? Are you in completely different relationships, no longer in relationships? Did you move? Like it's like like actual physical changes happening. And that that's a lot. And there's an interesting temperature here where it's like, yes, I think this needed to happen, but I've not yet adjusted to how big the change is. And part of me wishes it hadn't happened, and that I can just kind of fall back into the way things were and like be in that again, because you might even be thinking I would be able to navigate that much better now. But that's normal to have those feelings when something really big has happened. Um, that's the burden, right? The burden, and look, burden is, you know, when this card comes, we need to take a pause and like ask ourselves, where is that energy in our bodies? Because burden, even when you say it, burden, it is a heavy, dense energy, and it will get stuck inside of your body, and you can move it. It is just an energy. So if you are feeling that word, if you're feeling the burden, the heaviness, take some time for yourself and really breathe into it and ask your body, where is it that it's really getting me, right? Where am I really feeling that? And breathe into those spaces. Ask your body what it needs to tell you. You will receive information on that. It'd be great to do that to meditation. In the Inner Sanctum app, you've got so many rewiring meditations that don't have any voice, just frequency from the plant sounds, and it would be great to kind of do it to one of those, and just like allow yourself to, you know, get in there. All right, and then you have the protection card, and this is very important for everybody to start thinking about. In the before times, we thought about protection as defense, right? Um, Always protecting us against unseen forces and unwanted energies and negative entities, and just all of the things, right? And when you do that, that automatically puts you in a place of fear, because that's rooted in fear. It's like, I need to protect myself from these energies that are out to get me. And you might be saying, no, Sarah, no, that's not how I think about it. But I encourage you to just ask yourself that a few times, because we often adopt practices that are rooted in fear and don't realize it, and then wonder why we're feeling that way. And most of the things in our lives up until the before time has ended, were rooted in that, because when we are put into a state of fear, it's very easy to be manipulated. It's very easy to manipulate us. And if you are using up all of your energy protecting yourself and shoring up defenses, you are not going to have any energy for doing your own magic. You're constantly fighting against the unseen forces, and it's a battle you're not going to win, right? So we're looking at protection differently now. In fact, that's one of the big things we're going to be talking about in the 8-week workshop, which starts tomorrow, is creating ritual that takes you out of that defense and out of that fear based mode, and instead empowers your sovereignty. When you empower your sovereignty, all of the little stuff takes care of itself, and you move into a place of offense, not defense. Um, and so that's what you're being asked to look at now. What fear based protection measures have you been putting in place to make yourself feel safer, but that are actually keeping you in that fear energy? Okay. So that is your, excuse me, that is your piano message for today. All right. Next up is flute. And I'll remind you that even if you can't join us for the 8-week workshop, if that's just not your jam right now, I have another option for you. We meet every Wednesday morning for coffee and coaching. And this is a place where you can ask me questions. We talk about the energy much more in depth, and we create community. So, if you're interested in like taking this experience up a few notches, but not ready for the big commitment of an 8-week workshop, definitely look into coffee and coaching. You can find out more about it on my website, sarahamala.com. And like I said, we meet every Wednesday. Everything is recorded and available to you in an app format. So come join us. It's the best group ever. All right. Next one, which is our last one of the morning, is flute. If you are just joining us and you've missed it, we started at 8:30, so we're kind of at the tail end here. You can find the replay on my Instagram TV, IGTV, or on my YouTube. It'll be up as soon as I close out here, and you can watch from the beginning. All right, flute. I knew flute was going to be a total energy change up from the first two, and it indeed is. All right, you ready? Look who's here. The dog. It's the dragon. And it's the love card. I mean, okay. All right. Let's see what this story is. This is your flute, the flute ones. And again, even if you didn't pick flute, if it resonates with you, you can take it. Take what you need. Okay. So we've got the dog. It's number 19. The dog is all about loving yourself. Oh, we're going to tap into the dog energy this morning. And, it's not all dogs, and I'm aware of that. I've had many dogs in my life, but generally speaking, there's a reason why they chose this particular breed of dog to represent dog, because this is actually the vibe that we're looking for. It's either a golden retriever or a Labrador. That's the vibe that we're tapping into right now to explain this dog energy. All right, because I've had other dogs that they don't play the same game. You know what I'm saying? But for our purposes today, tap into the vibes of a Labrador retriever or a golden retriever. What is that vibe? It's my whole life is loving you. When you're happy, when you're sad, when you're any shade of in between, when you leave the room and come back 5 minutes later, like, holy moly, the joy is wild. Like, biggest fan, here for you for anything. What do you need? You need snugs, you need kisses. Like, what is it that you need? And that is the vibes that we need to be bringing to our own selves. We need to be golden retrievers for ourselves. Okay. And anytime you feel yourself kind of slipping away from that and being really down on yourself, we're not going to be mean about it and say, like, oh my God, you're failing at being a golden retriever for yourself. No, you're not going to do that. But you're going to remember that it's an option. Okay. You're going to remember that it's an option. I'm not here to tell you that you always have to be in a good mood, that you always have to be spreading love and light, that you always have to think highly of yourself, because it's just very, very unrealistic and unnecessary, quite frankly. However, shifting the tools that you have, right? Shifting your ability to navigate your own energy and to have a baseline of loving yourself more than not is going to make a massive difference in your experience being a human on earth right now. So, if you're having a bad day and you're not feeling good about yourself, you're not going to say, well, I suck because in addition to everything else, I can't be a golden retriever. No, what you're going to say is, I have the option of shifting this energy into feeling more like a puppy for me if I want it. It's there for me. Maybe I need to sit in this for a few minutes, okay? But that's an option for me, okay? It's really important. to love yourself. And I know that sounds like duh, Sarah, but is not really duh. Too many people don't love themselves. And when you don't love themselves, it's very easy to attract people into your life who don't love you either and who are basically there to confirm for you all of your worst fears about yourself and all of your doubts about yourself because that's the energy you're throwing out there. You'll tolerate poor behavior because you believe that you deserve it because you don't think you're the shit, right? People who love themselves don't find themselves in relationships that damage that healthy self image. Because as soon as it doesn't feel good, they're going to be like, wait, hold on. Like, you're not loving me at all close to how I need to be loved because I know it because I do it for myself. Um, and those are the vibes. I put two cards together, you know. So there's that. You also have the dragon card, and this card is kind of a reminder, right? It's a reminder the dragon energy is currently very strong, which means that you have unlimited power surrounding you to tap into to assist you and support you at whatever it is you want to do now. Like, guys, I cannot stress this enough. The magic is everywhere. It's shimmering and sparkling in the air. All you have to do is lift your hand and touch it. All you have to do is open your mouth and call it and tell it what to do. The energy is just waiting on you to give it some direction. And if you don't consciously give it direction, you're going to subconsciously give it direction. And so that is something we all are being asked to focus on now at this time. So that is your flute message for this morning. And that is your coffee and magic on this Monday. Thank you for being here with me today. It's been a pleasure. Again, coffee and coaching is Wednesday. We're going to be deep diving into a few different things on that day. Hope to see you. You can learn more about all of my things at sarahmala.com. I'm back here on Friday morning at 10 a.m. with more of these things. And I hope you have an amazing Monday. I hope you remember how special and magical and beautiful you are, and you bring that into everything that happens in your day today. And if you've enjoyed this transmission, here are a few things you can do to support me without spending a penny. Tell your friends, share my shit, like my posts, and have an amazing day. I love you. Mwah. Goodbye.